Work from home has become a reality in everyone's life, as many people refer it to as the new normal. Whether you like it or not, it is something that we have to be accustomed to forcibly or willingly. In the beginning, we all enjoyed it and made dalgona coffee, failed at making sourdough bread, most of us anyway, but eventually it came to a point where everybody started hating it, and your family and that partner who is supposed to be the favorite person in your life suddenly became your annoying co-worker. While we have come to the acceptance that human to human interaction is going to happen over Zoom for a longer period of time than we anticipated, there is still some element that is missing in our office, work from home office life. Space and ambience is said to have a great impact on human mood, behavior, psychology, and overall productivity. It's 2021 and most of us have come to the realization that we are left with no choice but to accommodate a flexible and an adaptive office space into our homes. Hi, my name is Kashmira Randave and I'm an architect, and this video is going to focus on how I accommodated a flexible and an adaptive office space into our apartment. Let's get started. This tiny space is used by my family and I to sleep, eat, work out, and of course, work. As an architect, my instinct was to lift the space without it losing its essence and functionality. Over the years, we have tried to get in some of our old furniture into this room to make it more habitable, but it has never really worked in our favor. Just taking a quick look at this space, the size of the room is 180 square feet, and we needed to accommodate various activities like working out, dining, sleeping, and working, of course. If you look at the original look and feel of the space, you would notice that the original paint looked very dull, and it had this sort of a purplish undertone with this dark wall, and due to that the room felt cramped and smaller than it originally is. Along with that, the color of the room just absorbed light, and no matter what furniture we put in there and how we decorated it, it just wouldn't pop out. A room needs to act as a comprehensive structure that is inclusive of everything that stands within it. And given the color or the furniture or the overall vibe of the room, that is not what was happening in this particular instance. This room is considerably a good size, but if you take into consideration the activities that are carried out in this area, it is compact. When you look at the skeleton of the room and you disintegrate it to its basic and standard layout, you see that it is a room with two entrances, one which connects to the outside world and another which leads to private spaces of the house. The room further opens up into two other private spaces in our house. I don't want to get into those details. Now, when we really understand what it is, you can clearly define the circulation of the space or the path of travel. In this particular context, this is the circulation for the space, which means we cannot have any furniture in this area. We went through a variety and a series of different ideas such as these, but I had just returned from the United States and I didn't have much of an idea of what was available in the Indian market. When I went to the market and local shops and got a chance to look at everything that is readily available, I realized that it would help us so much more with the pricing by using what is easily available in the market in terms of bringing the cost of the project down and still achieve a sophisticated and a contemporary look for our home office and make it look expensive. After different variations in design, we decided to move forward with this particular design, and finally we could move to the materials. Oh, before I forget to mention, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end, because it's really going to highlight and show you how a designer can really transform a space with very logical and a simple approach. Also, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It helps me immensely in bringing my video up in the YouTube algorithm. In order to create a kind of illusion and to make a space or a room feel bigger, it's always a good idea to go with a lighter color. In this particular instance, we have decided to go with a white color because a light color like white reflects light and it creates this kind of an illusion which ultimately makes your room or space feel bigger than it actually is. In this instance, we decided to go with the color Pale Sisal from Asian Paints. It has a tinge of yellow in it which does not make it too white or too glossy. We literally went with one color on all the walls, including the ceiling. You may notice that a simple addition of white paint makes the room look so much bigger because white reflects light and adds so much warmth and sophistication to the room. We thought about defining the circulation further by giving it a particular type of flooring and really highlighting and defining the space, but it would add to our stingy budget. So we decided to stick with our earlier flooring because why not? So an interesting way that I found after visiting a light shop was to create an illusion with lights defining the division in the room. These lights clearly define the division of the room along with these stone tiles that go vertically up. The different variations in stone tiles were chosen in order to promote the eclectic style of architecture. The main idea behind it is to go bold and not be afraid of choosing different patterns and integrating them together in your design. Now, let's move on to the partition. There was a necessity to have a partition in this area in order to separate the private spaces and the restroom. It's kind of like in the future, if any client were to come into the office, you don't want them to see the restroom on entering. This is the design that we finalized after studying the materials, colors and textures. We got this metal frame fabricated from a local metal fabricator, and it was very important to get the exact correct dimensions in order to accommodate the clay blocks, and also it needs to support the weight of the clay blocks. I think he did a very good job. These clay blocks were integrated in order to facilitate porosity and transparency within the space, in addition to creating a clearly defined structured partition. Although it is necessary to have a partition in this region, it is also encouraged to have something that is making sure it does not make the space look smaller or cluttered. These bricks were brought from a local studio that specializes in stone and clay work, and they have some great varieties available in the genre of brick and stone. After looking at multiple available tiles, we finalized on this particular tile because we were very excited about the color and the size of the tile. A common misconception that people have when they see something modern or contemporary is that they associate that with being unaffordable or very expensive. But that is not necessarily the case. As long as you have the right pair of eyes, which is picking out the correct objects for you and styling it in the correct fashion, you can get a very sophisticated look in the defined budget. Framing a particular area is a principle in design. When I say framing, I don't mean drawing a frame around a wall, but visualizing this particular area in bits and pieces and thinking of the wall as a part of a frame to get a better understanding of the space and make it easier to design the same. That's it for this video. Please make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.